This week in Cincinnati on 9 on your side.
Unmanned aerial aircraft, UAVs, quadcopters, drones, whatever you want to call them. They're finding new uses every day for these things. Companies like Amazon want to use them for deliveries. Law enforcement sees them as a set of extra eyes in the sky. And for news organizations like us, WCPO 9 on your side, well, you're looking at some of our video. It gives us a whole new way to give you a perspective on the news. This is video from Sky 9. That's our quadcopter. And UAVs are rapidly becoming such a big deal that local schools are now offering formal programs. Sinclair College, in fact, has a 2-year program in unmanned aerial systems. And just this week, the Duke Energy Foundation gave Butler Tech $45,000 for its drone education programs. So joining me is Matt King, who's going to help launch that program next year. Big business right now.
We're pumped, Tanya. Yeah, it's amazing to see where the whole drone world is going. I say the word drone. I know we were talking beforehand.
I think people say, you hear drone and they go, ugh, I don't like that.
Well, like you can say UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle, SUAV, small unmanned aerial vehicle, quadricopter, which is probably what you use.
We say quadcopter, less threatening.
Well, we like it because with our market currently, the FAA changed the rules. Before, you had to have a license to be a licensed pilot, like flying planes in the sky. Now, you have to be 16 years old and you have to pass a written test. There's no actual flying test to get a certification for this.
Really? So I could just go and apply and get one and not have a clue how to fly this?
Well, you have to pass the test. It's about a 40% pass rate. So it is an aviation test.
So it's pretty tough.
Because the FAA takes it. You got to know about weather, airspace, charts, everything else.
I'm out.
I know. I have it though, so it's all good.
You have it, but I think it sounds fascinating to get to fly one of these things and do beautiful shots of your vacation location. I have a friend who has one, and he gets some great video, but there are a lot of restrictions too.
Yeah, it used to be just commercial based. Now we're moving into what we call the lifestyle drone, which now you see the most popular drone companies showcasing their drone. You can pull it out of your pocket, throw it up on the beach, throw it up when you're eating.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Just walk around, it follows me.
I know, and now we're moving into the more commercial way of doing things. So they're really big for agriculture. We can actually put sensors on these cameras and see the sugar contents of grapes and wineries. We can see when a plant's dying, how much chemicals do we need to buy.
Really?
Yeah, so we fly it over. Really big in law enforcement. Real estate is huge, but be careful if you want to do commercial real estate for drones, because you have to have that license. If you don't, you can get about a $25,000 fine per instance.
Oh my gosh. Now, okay, so someone recently told me that they flew a drone over my house. I know this person, so I wasn't upset. But is that okay?
All right, well, we do teach an ethics course.
There's ethics involved, yeah.
So there's a difference between what is legal and what is ethical. So legally speaking, you do not control your own airspace. We have a couple laws going through right now, or bills, where when you buy a house, they give you a 100-foot ceiling, but we'll see what happens with that. When a plane flies over your house, the control tower doesn't call and say, hey, Tanya, it's okay if I fly over your house.
But I'm minuscule.
Once we start flying and once we start filming, that's when we get an invasion of privacy. So, of course, you can see an issue with that. But if they're just flying over your house, technically, if it's a cleared area and they can fly, they can fly.
So you can't say to the person, don't do that again?
I mean, you probably could. I would always say that. I always ask. If you're a drone pilot, if you're out there flying, always ask for permission.
So what are some of the companies, the more unusual companies, that have come to you guys and said, we need help, we need you to train people to do this?
Our favorite one, a bounty hunter. I had a bounty hunter call me.
Stop.
And he wanted to catch his criminals, and so we didn't end up doing it, but he wanted to upload a photo of the people he was trying to catch and fly over and say, okay, we got him, and they're going to track him down. I had a private investigator who thought his wife was cheating on him, and so he wanted to use drones.
A private investigator?
Yeah, the private investigator himself. So he didn't even hire one. He just wanted to use drones.
So let's say someone's at home watching this right now, and they're like, you know what, I've always wanted to try this. Is this a job of the future, and how do they get involved?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's becoming cheaper and cheaper to do. Right now at Butler Tech, we're teaching drone camps, so we're teaching kids how to fly 7 to 15. The drones we flew last year cost about $2,000. Now you can get a really, really solid drone for about $400 or $500.
Really?
Yeah, so you got to have a license, though, if you're doing any form of commercial work, even if you're not getting paid.
What if you're just doing it for fun on your vacation?
Yeah, recreational, completely fine. Once you start making revenue or using it for a commercial use, that's when you got to have that license.
And so how do they get in touch with your camp?
You can go to dronecamp.org and check out Butler Tech. We're actually going to be rolling out some new programs in August, teaching people how they can pass their certification. It's called, the technical license is called an FAA Part 107 license.
So technical. I will say this, whatever drones are, I love the videos they get, right? They're just beautiful. Our Sky 9 gets some great stuff. Matt King, thanks so much for coming in. It's really
Appreciate
fascinating. And This Week in Cincinnati, we'll be right back.